live from New York. It's the show that was up late, grinding the all 10. It's First Things First. I was delivering coach and analysis out there.
All right, I heard. You don't believe me?
I'm the humble king.
Did I have 20? I don't know. I keep track of everything that's going on at all times. Brew, your reaction to a great game.
Man, I went through a wide range of thoughts and emotions.
I wanna hear.
With LeBron last
Because I
night.
wonder if they're the same I did. I want to hear this.
Okay, so my first emotion, I'm befuddled.
Oh, befuddled.
Okay?
Befuddled. All right,
I'm
nope.
watching the first quarter,
Befuddled.
and LeBron is not shooting, okay?
Yeah.
He didn't score his first point, so there were like a minute and a half left, and those came on free throws.
Yep.
He hits his first bucket with 34 seconds left. So I'm just baffled, but they're up 6.
Baffled as well.
Like, wow, okay, what is LeBron doing? He's not taking shots. And then my second emotion and thought, as the second and third quarters go on, he gets a little more involved, but he's still very much, for his whole career, essentially, he's been the system. He's been the show. Everything's revolved around him. He was definitely not that in the second and third quarters, but he was playing where he had 16 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and they're, right there, the game is close, but he's letting Austin Reeves do his thing, handle the ball. He's letting, obviously, D'Angelo Russell, others are doing their thing, and LeBron's just fitting in. So I'm impressed. I go from befuddlement to being impressed.
Okay,
I'm like, wow, LeBron really is fitting in this team thing, not doing too much, but still being very effective and the best player on the team.
How many more do we have?
Then, we got 2 more.
Okay.
Then in the fourth quarter, as Memphis is taking a little bit of control, obviously it was still a close game, but they're taking a little bit of control, and LeBron misses his first 4 shots.
Yeah.
I'm now concerned.
I knew he was going to
Okay?
be concerned. I was going to guess
Yes,
concerned.
concerned.
I was
Not
too.
only
the
for this
finale.
game,
Yeah.
not only for this game, but LeBron was not engaged, and I'm like, he's gassed. Because every other day, only 1 day rest.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, okay, I'm not only concerned about the Lakers for this game, but now I'm concerned about the series because the rest of the way it's every other day.
And what's the last
And
emotion?
then the last emotion was awe.
Oh.
Because he drove obviously the game time bucket, lays it up high, and he had a great explanation after his that was a tier 3, I think, layup that he said.
3 different tiers of
over
layups.
the best shot blocker in the league. And then here's the kicker.
Yeah.
Dillon Brooks. Didn't Dillon Brooks in his rant say he can't take me one-on-one?
Yeah.
He can't take me one-on-one.
Yeah.
What poetic justice
it's
that at the end of the game in overtime, this was the game sealer. This wasn't the game-winning shot. It was a game-sealing layup.
Yep.
Actually, I think it would end up being the game-winning basket. Game-winning basket over Dillon Brooks.
Yeah.
Poetic justice. So LeBron was, Nick, this is my final thing.
Okay.
It was the strangest, most bizarre masterpiece
So that's
I've seen from LeBron.
So this is
ever.
so I'm going to be totally, I was very good.
Thank you.
He did not have it last night. He was gassed. I feel like, is deeply concerned about re-injuring that foot. And that's why he is leaning.
Really?
Yes.
So you don't think it was just fatigue?
No, I think he is concerned that if I go all out to the rim, my plantar fasciitis, I don't totally understand that injury, but remember when he said I felt a pop when he first went out, that it could happen again. This is why that injury is usually a season ender or at least multi-month injury. It's why every doctor, according to LeBron, other than, quote, the LeBron James of feet, told him he needed surgery. And it's why he is leaning on a jump shot right now that is a broken jump shot temporarily. And I was watching it saying, Lakers could be in a really rough spot here because they had full control of this game in the first half. They're up 13. Well, with 2 minutes left in the first half, they're up. They allowed a 14-1 run to close the first half. Now it's a 2-point game, and I'm like, okay, if this thing goes 2-2, and then all of a sudden, like you said, every other day,
yes,
and Game 7 would be at Memphis, you could be in real trouble. And then LeBron James, in 2 different ways, found a way. The first way is the game-tying layup, something critical, buzzer-beating, clutch shots no player in league history other than Michael Jordan has a quarter of the resume of LeBron James. We can show you the numbers on that later. The other thing he did that reminded me, not the same stakes, I totally get it, but of a different, oddly great Laker performance, was the rebounding.
Right.
Game 7, 2010 Finals, Kobe Bryant. Did not have it. He was 6 of 24. Had the second most rebounds in any game of his career. I'm going
18.
to find a way to help my team if I can't do it the traditional way. LeBron did it through rebounding, through defense, where I think he was exerting most of his energy, by taking charges on John Morant, who's flying around like a madman, and one turnover.
Right.
Played 45 minutes, one turnover. And so this was, you said masterpiece. I heard the TNT guys discussing one of the best games of his career. I don't think that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that
far.
but I do think
it was one of the most unique performances I've seen from a great player ever. Because we've never, the fact that he has played more minutes and more games than anyone in NBA history except for a couple guys. And he did something he's never done. He's never once had a 20-rebound game. Not that that is all that important in and of itself, but the fact that late in the game, he's like, I'm guarding Jaren Jackson. I'm playing down low. This is where I can help because I can't get a bucket every time. But the two most important buckets, he could still do it. He could still reach down and get it. I thought it was a wildly important game to essentially end the series as opposed to being in a best of 3 where you don't have home court.
That was good, but do you have an emotion to add or
no? You know what? Brew covered that for me. See, that's where
befuddlement, impressed, concerned, and awe.
Yeah,
good.
We got
also add baffled in there. I wasn't going to call you out.
Befuddlement, baffled. Did I say baffled?
You added baffled.
Really?
I have it here.
Can we?
We're going to go to AD.
Yeah,
It's a
just real
synonym
quick.
for befuddled.
That game-tying layup came over. You said the league-leading shot blocker. The defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
In year 20, on a night you don't have it, that you force overtime in a playoff game with a second left against the defensive player of the year, it's unprecedented. Go ahead, Wildes.
So you're in awe?
You know what? It's very hard for LeBron to impress himself or me at this point, but I was pretty.
He awed himself. LeBron said he awed himself.
AD, who I think is a top 10 player, had a quiet game and was not himself, according to the broadcast. He went down with this little injury here. Here he is after the game. Here's the stat line there, bro. Quizzical AD looking at his own stats. Should AD be happy with this performance?
Look, they won. All right, that's the most important thing. They won. And AD he was very good defensively. He had the 4 block shots. And their defense, I mean, they clogged up the lane.
Yep.
And so Memphis, which isn't a great three-point shooting team, had to take a bunch of threes, and they were bricking them. And so on that end of the floor, he was fine. He had 5 points, 5 of his 12 in overtime. He led all scorers in overtime. Right. Yep. So it was okay. But AD has to look in the mirror, Nick, and he has to look in the mirror and ask himself 2 things. One, why am I so inconsistent? I go from 31. It's one thing for Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell and role players to go up and down. We get that. You aren't supposed to do that. He goes from 31 points in game 3 to 12 last night. He goes from 22 points in game 1 to 13 in game 2. You're not going to get 30 every night. But he's got to be more consistent than he's been. So that's number one. Number 2, and this is my pet peeve, AD, I just think he has to start getting up off the floor quicker. Don't act like every time you hit the ground, it is a season-ending injury potentially. Now look at this with the hip. Then the shooter runs over and is trying to get him up, like pull him up, like dude, come on. Look at it. He's like, get up.
Yeah.
That tells me the shooter's like,
dude. Wasn't worried
every
about him?
time you hit it, AD, you're not.
The referees.
No, because they knew.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, this is ridiculous, and I think that can be mental. Like, stop.
All right, listen,
get up fast.
I agree.
Unless you're really
every
hurt.
time he goes down, it looks like there was a sniper in the crowd, and then you just hope he's okay.
Gosh, it's scary.
I also think, and shout out to Inside the NBA, not only for, listen, they're the best sports show on TV, and for a lot of reasons, and I think we all have friends involved with that show, but Kenny had, I thought, a great point, and it was one that I knew but I hadn't thought of. So Shaq is killing AD because Shaq wants every big man to be Shaq, which I understand. Like, I'm not taking a shot, but he does. Like, Shaq sometimes, I think, underrates his own dominance, thinking other guys could do it. Kenny said, guys, do you remember Anthony Davis at Kentucky? He was the no doubt generational prospect #1 pick. That season, how many times do you think Anthony Davis scored 25 points?
Oh, yeah.
Twice. 0 times scored 30. When they won the national championship, he had 6 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 6 blocks.
Yeah, that was a weird game.
Well, he didn't average a lot of points
in the tournament.
that year.
14 rebounds, 12 points, 3 assists, 5 blocks per game. Anthony Davis was generational defensively, who then early in his career in New Orleans developed into a dominant offensive player. But it was never his nature. And which is why I think when he has an off night, he's still awesome defensively. Even when he does not feeling great, when he doesn't have his confidence, it is natural for him to still kick ass defensively. But he has to really be feeling it to be great offensively, which, listen, is a massive flaw.
Yeah.
But Wildes, he's still without a doubt, you said it somewhat skeptically, there's not 10 guys in the league you'd rather have. We go up and down the list, there's not 10. Because
if you take out injury, obviously.
Well, right. If you take out because he had, to his credit, he suffered 1 injury this year and otherwise has been pretty healthy, and the whole league seemingly was hurt this year. Like I want to hear your thoughts.
No, I think this is going to end up biting them. If LeBron doesn't make that layup, Anthony Davis's whole demeanor post game is like, I got to be better.
Yep.
I got to do a better job.
He apologizes, right. It's
and
his
also,
fault.
you wouldn't get all those points that you got in overtime, so it will look that stat line looks even worse.
Well, good point.
Yeah.
That was cogent.
I've been delivering cogent analysis. I told you I'm grinding the all 10.
Slow down.
That
was a good one.
My guy Dillon Brooks went 1 for 7 from 3.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Here's Tim McMahon with a report that's not a report, but I still liked it. Dillon Brooks didn't speak to reporters for the 2nd straight game. I'm out, he said. Nick, your reaction?
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, I hope Dillon Brooks enjoys his last couple of games as a Grizzly. They're not going great. Maybe he'll have a good one. He will be a good culture setter for Ime Udoka and the Houston Rockets next year. I'll call that shot right now. But I think that's going to happen. He's a free agent. They have cap space. They need a vet. They need a defensive mind. He'll go down there and he'll go into NBA obscurity where he probably belongs.
Ooh, I don't know.
He got a little too big for his britches.
Talent, though.
He got a little too big for his britches, and this dates back to January. So, since I just gave you a future look at Dillon Brooks, let's take a past look at Dillon Brooks to the Dillon Brooks timeline. Can we just play a bunch of sound, please? Go right ahead. So here's the deal.
Okay, we get it.
Can we show how LeBron iced the game? Because Dillon Brooks wanted this matchup, said he's old, said he pokes bears, and famously in January said he doesn't want to go left. And I do believe that was LeBron James's left hand because Dillon Brooks had hooked his right arm the whole way to the basket that LeBron drove left and scored. So there's the problem. You're just not good enough. You can talk all the...
Especially not to talk to LeBron like that.
Right, and you listen, you got to at least... You don't have to be as good as LeBron. Draymond's not as good as LeBron. But Draymond will win some of these battles. Dillon Brooks ain't going to win nothing. Right. And then he once again doesn't stay true to the cartoon character he's developed, and he runs from the media availability. Listen, I don't know. Maybe he had an appointment to go up the chimney where the Grizzlies want all the smoke, I heard. And they have no problems in the West and they want the Lakers. But it doesn't seem to be working out very well for him, Brew.
Remember last week when I said I'm starting to like Dillon Brooks?
Yeah.
I'm starting not to like him. All right. I'm serious. I mean, come on, Dillon Brooks.
Is anybody rooting for the guy?
Well,
I'll root for you, Dillon Brooks.
Look, if you talk this talk, you have to face the media. Number one is your job. It's part of your job. We remember LeBron James after his struggles in 2011 on the world stage, was going to be his
Sat
first
at the press
championship.
conference.
He still went to the press conference
said, "All your
and
lives are
answered
whack."
those questions. Yeah, he might have made a few
LeBron
missteps,
James.
but he still had to face the music.
Still going to be you.
All right?
Job stinks.
And look, it's been reported, right, that because Ja didn't meet with the media,
Nah, why
that
not?
Ja and Dillon Brooks kind of done this through the season, right after losses. That is on the Memphis Grizzlies PR staff and the NBA. No, you got to step in and make these dudes available.
Are you
the
telling me
media's
the
a big part
Memphis
of
Grizzlies
this.
management might not have it all together?
Right. There's a lot going awry in Memphis, but no, he's got to answer for everything you put on there. You got to answer
Of
for.
course.
Dillon, do you regret the statement that you poked bears? This is one of the greatest players of all time. Dillon, why can't you hit a three-point shot? Dillon, you said LeBron couldn't go left.
Yeah.
LeBron can't take you one-on-one. What happened on that last one?
Yeah.
You got to answer the questions
You've
and
got
face
to
the
answer.
music.
It is important in life to be accountable for things you say, which is why we do this segment, Wild's Weird Tweets. Or
not called
Wild's Thoughts,
Weird.
whatever
I
it
can only
is.
imagine where
All
you
right.
were going.
Yesterday, LeBron James seemed to be exerting quite a bit of effort on the defensive end. Kevin Wildes took issue with it. You cannot dikembe finger wave a block shot that was 7 feet off the ground. Wildes, go ahead.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
I think I'm going to try to convince Brew.
Yeah.
So this was a desperation scoop shot, Brew. That LeBron blocked. This was a shot that honestly you or I could block.
No. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
It was 2 feet below the
Against
net.
Desmond Bain, okay.
So and he does
Whatever
the
you say.
dikembe finger wave.
Yeah.
I think that this iconic celebrations need to be held for iconic moments. If someone does here's some good dikembe blocks. Above the rim, impressive blocks. If somebody wants to do the LeBron stomp, the finisher, off of, a banked-in three-pointer, we would say, you know what? That's not really befitting of an iconic celebration. Make sure that the block matches with the celebration.
You know
and
what?
it didn't. Brew?
Good job, Wild. I got it. Look,
Thank you.
I didn't have a problem
like 3
with
for
it,
3 on
but
these.
you had a great explanation.
Thank
I'll
you.
give you that.
Another win for Wildes. We conclude the segment.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.